Is it striking gold and becoming rich overnight, or losing everything in the end? 59-year-old gold hunter Dave has always been obsessed with treasures buried underground. This time, he set his sights on an abandoned gold mine. Though it had already been dug during the gold rush of the 19th century, he believed there were still hidden corners overlooked by those who came before. And those corners, he thought, could become the cradle of his fortune. The first place Dave explored was Donahue Bay in the upper Yukon River. During the 1896 gold rush, more than 30,000 miners here collectively earned over $1 billion. Though it's now abandoned, the landowner Eric remains convinced that his vast property still holds a wealth of untapped gold. Dave collected enough soil samples from the dried riverbed and wasted no time testing them. Only when the concentration of gold in the soil reaches a certain level can he be sure the mine would be profitable. Using a simple sluice box, other impurities were washed away, and tiny flakes of gold appeared in the pond. But the gold content was clearly below Dave's standards. This site had to be abandoned. For a gold hunter, finding a mine rich enough to turn a profit means everything. Dave had no choice but to move on to the next abandoned site. In Nevada, a state famous for its gold deposits, Jason offered him a second mining location. But as soon as Dave set foot in the desert, he worried about the harsh transportation conditions. Jason, who shared the same dream of striking it rich, had once unearthed large nuggets here with a metal detector holding the heavy chunk of gold in his hand. Dave still didn't dare start mining right away. The severe lack of water and the cost of extraction would skyrocket. Even so, he gathered enough samples. When the gravel was washed, golden nuggets emerged. The soil's gold content was decent, but extracting it without water would be nearly impossible. After weighing the risks, Dave decided this site wasn't ideal either. Next, he turned to Willow Creek Mine. With good roads and ample water supply, it seemed like the perfect location. In fact, someone had once found a massive 90-ounce nugget here. Chris, whose business had failed, hoped to rebuild his life through this mine, but with too little capital, he couldn't afford to mine on his own. Even with equipment, he was stuck watching helplessly. Dave ran a test with high hopes. The black sand was indeed full of golden spakes, but the pieces were far too small, making collection much harder, and the overall content still didn't meet his standards. So Willow Creek Mine was abandoned as well. After all these trials, Dave still couldn't find a mine that checked every box. He began to think about returning to the family business, but with encouragement from his old friend Freddie, he pressed on with his dream of striking gold. Grasshopper Creek became his fourth stop. In the mid-19th century, the gold rush had turned this area into a bustling town. When the rush ended, it faded back into a barren wasteland. But the creek beside the town remained untouched and unexplored. All Dave had to do was drain the creek, dig another 20 feet down, and reach the gold-rich bedrock. Driven by his dream, Dave decided to take the gamble. A pump capable of draining 2,000 gallons of water per minute was brought in. 5 days later, Dave returned to find most of the creek already dry, but by then, the $30,000 investment his backers had provided was nearly gone. Unless he found gold here, everything would collapse. As he washed the soil, golden nuggets finally revealed themselves among the debris. The content looked promising. This could be the gold mine he'd been searching for. Excited, Dave recruited a crew, ready to go all in. But then an unexpected phone call shattered his dream. The investors had pulled the plug. Without their backing, mining couldn't continue. Dave's golden dream was crushed. He reluctantly returned to his family's quarry. After a long talk with his father, he resolved never to rely on others again. He felt the gold beneath the earth was calling to him directly. In Arizona, Casey had discovered an excellent mining site, but lacking funds, he couldn't mine it alone. Back in 1853, gold had been found in the Prescott Valley. Miners had dug it thoroughly, but Casey believed they'd missed a tributary rich in deposits. With simple washing equipment, he and Dave tested the soil. The golden glints flashing in the pan made them overjoyed. Dave felt like fortune had finally opened its arms to him. Next came the start of his true mining journey. But will Dave's dream finally come true?